This is why it's one of my favorite beaches, because look, it's beautiful. I love it. Hey everyone, and welcome back to part 2 of my Dominican Republic trip. I just couldn't fit all of the adventures into one video because this place has so much to offer. So here's part 2, and please enjoy. So while we were in Samaná, we decided to take a day trip to the island El Cayo Levantado. It was phenomenal. I can honestly say this was my second favorite beach in the Dominican Republic. We took a boat from Samaná. It was pretty cheap, and my partner's mum was able to secure a deal with food included. We spent some time at the beach before lunch, and my partner's family were finally able to use the presents I got them for Christmas. Blow-up donut floaties. After an hour of swimming, we ate lunch. It was so worth it. My only regret was not bringing a container to save the leftovers. It was a nice little eating area about 50 meters from the beach, with plenty of options to choose from. After eating, we headed back to the little island beach. We threw a ball back and forth for a bit, floated around, and chatted for hours. I even saw a starfish. The water was so clear and relaxing because the only waves that came were small, tiny ones after a boat passed by. Finally, at about 5 p.m, we took the boat back to the mainland. On the way home, we stopped in at the beach, La Playita, to see the sunset and take some pictures. And finally, we drove back to the house to eat and rest. The next day, we headed out in the car again. We arrived at this nice area where the river meets the sea. There were nice restaurants around, but we had packed lunch that day. So we walked along El Caño Frío and found a nice spot with barely any people. As the name suggests, it was very cold, but we spent a lot of time floating around and chilling, and the weather was so nice and sunny that day. After a while, we walked to where the river mouth meets the sea and went for a quick dip at this beach. After that, we got back in the car and drove 5 minutes to Playa Rincón. We spent a while here, and I was really satisfied with how much everyone was using the donut floaty presents. This is a beach that I'd 100% love to come back to. After 5 great days traveling through Rio San Juan, Cabrera, and Samaná, we headed back to the capital Santo Domingo. Here we spent a few days relaxing, visiting family members, and preparing the house for the New Year's Eve party. We brought in the new year dancing, hugging, and watching the fireworks from the backyard. The next few days sort of blurred together. We went to the Zona Colonial to eat with the family and dance at Museo del Ron. We also went to Juan Dolio with my partner's mother, and we met some friends there to play cards. After spending hours at the beach, we ended up at a nice pool. So after weeks of non-stop socializing, we decided to take a spontaneous trip to my favorite beach in the Dominican Republic, Bayahibe. We booked an Airbnb and drove for about an hour and 30 minutes before stopping in La Romana to eat lunch and get groceries. We then drove 30 minutes from there to Bayahibe. The next 2 days were absolute bliss. We ate breakfast, packed lunch, got to the beach, rented an umbrella, and spent the whole day gliding in and out of that crystal clear water. Apart from the umbrellas and sunbeds, there are restaurants and shops if you want to buy something, grab a drink, etc.
So look, I'm currently at one of my favorite beaches in the Dominican Republic. The water is crystal clear. Check it out. Yeah, I love this beach.
This is me once again being very happy with my donut floaty purchase. I got a lot of use out of it. After saying goodbye to Bayahibe, we headed back to the capital for the last few days of social events and gatherings. We even went to a friend's wedding. All in all, it was a spectacular trip.
Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed the video. It was difficult to cram 3 weeks of adventures into 2 vlogs, but we've done it and I had a great experience and I really hope to go back soon. See you next time.